Hello, and welcome back to the studio. I'm Dr. Wiggo, and today we're going to do a little studio update. Because since I finished the studio, by the way, I will link that playlist up here if you want to go see how I did all this and put all this stuff on the walls. Maybe not. But it's there. But a lot has changed since then. Now, some of it's been in videos, but this is just going to catch us all up. So first I'm going to run through the cameras and lenses. I'm going to talk about firmware updates. Update your firmware. I'll explain. Then I'll quickly run through the audio setup, which is not that different, but you'll see. And then just general things. Let's get going. So when I moved up here, when I set up the studio, I had my FX30 sitting here with the Sigma 16 f1.4 lens. And it's still looking at me. Hey. And I had the A7 IV. Well, actually, it wasn't where it is. It was over here because it had to be closer because I was using the Sony 20mm f1.8 lens. It had to be closer because it's a really wide lens. And so at this distance, I would be the little tiny person. And there'll be a video link below. I've replaced that lens with the Sigma 24 to 70mm f2.8. Which is, and because it's a zoom lens, I can make my head as big as it needs to be. And if you've watched me enough, you know I've got a big head. I mean, maybe not physically, but you know what I mean. I replaced the ZVE10 up here, and there's a video about that. It'll be linked down below. My old one was on the PAL, so it was 25 frames per second. So I had to shoot all my videos in 24 frames per second, but I wanted to go to 30 frames per second to make them look a little better on YouTube, but that means I had to replace this camera, so I got the ZVE10 on the NTSC system. So now I can do 30 frames a second. And it's just got the old kit lens on it. What is it? 16 to 50 millimeter, f3.5 to 5.6. And that's just for overhead shots. It's not even on right now. But one of the biggest changes was when I got the A6700, which I now use over here for my wide shots. Hey, how you doing? Because it's got that tracking thing, so when I walk around, like I did in a couple of videos, it will track me and keep me in the frame so I can move around, which is great. I have the Sony 10 to 18 millimeter f4 lens on it, which, as you recall, I bought for the A7C because I was going to use it for vlogging, and I may still do that, but in the meantime, I've got it up here. I already mentioned, remember, I switched all these cameras to 4K 30. In one of my videos, I was talking about my shutter speeds, and I was using 1/50 because that's what's best for 24 frames a second. But I'd gone to 30 frames per second, but I never changed my shutter speeds. So I changed that a few weeks ago. So now I've got 1/60th as my shutter speed on all these cameras, including this guy. So that should make it look a little better, I hope. Sadly, I think this means this is the best I'm ever going to look. Well, as I'm getting older, so yeah, this pretty much is the best I'm ever going to look. So, oh well, what are you going to do? Oh, and the other thing, and there's a video about this, I put dummy batteries into the FX30 and the A7 IV and the ZVE10. So now I just come up here and can start shooting, and I don't have to run around and mess with batteries. Well, except for this guy over here, because he's way too far away and I don't use him that often. So I'm not going to have get a dummy battery for him necessarily. Firmware updates. So I was watching videos about the A6700, and there was one guy who was having overheating problems. By the way, he was the only one. He posted another video a few days later where he said there was a firmware update to 1.01, and he put that on, and his overheating problem went away. I said, wait, new firmware? So I went to get the new firmware for the A6700, who is now running 1.01 firmware. But while I was there, I said, well, I'll just check all the other cameras. Well, boy, had things changed. The FX30 and the A7 IV and the ZVE10 are all now 2.0 firmware. The ZVE10, since I bought it relatively recently, it came with 2.0 software, but I had to update my older one. And these guys were still on like 1.0, 1.01 kind of software. So I had to, and this is annoying, I had to first upgrade the firmware from 1 to 1.05 on each of these. and then do another firmware upgrade to get them to 2.0. So that's the cameras and the lenses and everything. Now audio, I'm still using the NTG3 up here. I'm touching it right there. And it runs around and down. Well, here. It runs around and down and then comes over here to the Zoom H6. All my main recording is done on that. This is one of those things that once I tell you, you're never going to unsee it. I have a little white lavalier mic sitting here, which you probably didn't notice before, but now it's all you're going to see. It's attached to the Tentacle Sync E, which there's a video for that down there. And I use this for my backup video. For example, when I walk around, I can switch to this mic when I'm no longer in front of this mic, so I can keep the audio quality up. But if you watch the dummy battery video, when I walked around in the dummy battery video, I had to switch to the A6700 built-in mic. The A6700 and this guy, I record with their built-in mics, for syncing the videos purposes. These guys got the B1M and the B10 shotgun mics, which is, by the way, when I was around there, the shotgun mics being pointed this way weren't really picking me up. So I had to use that mic because for the only time I have had since I've had the Tentacle Sync, it has never failed me except that one time when I just needed like 2 minutes. There was no recording. I have it on video that the lights were blinking and it was recording, but it wasn't. Never did it before. Never done it since. Well, we'll find out because I'm using it today and I did walk around. So that's the audio setup. So that's all I've done. Well, the lighting is still the same. I still have the small rig over here. I'll link that video down below. The app still crashes on me if I try to do anything, change any settings on it, but it will turn it off and on. And I have my little baby Molus over here, the 60, the little cubic thing. I'll link that video down below for my fill light. One of the great things about using Sony cameras is I don't really have to worry about the lighting because they're really all great in low light. So those are all the changes I've made up in the studio since the studio setup videos back here. You're thinking, let me guess, you're still making school videos. Yes, I am. That's why I had to do something that was kind of quick and easy. But I also wanted to catch you up on everything. Again, there have been videos sprinkled around, but I don't know. Oh, and the new iPhone will announce, you'll see this Sunday, and it will announce Tuesday. And hopefully I'll pre-order it and it'll get here like in a week or two. So you'll have that to look forward to. I'll be looking at the new, well, we don't know what it's called. Either the iPhone Pro Max or the iPhone Pro Ultra or the iPhone Ultra. We don't know what they're going to call it. But I'm getting the giant one because it's going to have that fancy zoom lens assembly in it that I really want to play with. Because I'm so great with cameras. I know. I do my best. So that's what's coming up. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Why do I wave? I don't understand. I can't stop myself from waving even though I know you're not going to see it.